I spent 10 years working in the entertainment industry. On the day I left that life behind, I married a decent man. He was seriously ill, so we signed a prenuptial agreement. After marriage, I lived my life. He battled his illness, and we slept in separate rooms. Upon his death, all his assets would go to me. I only needed to raise his daughter from a previous marriage, Eliza, until she turned 18. When Eliza was 13, the money ran out. Just as live comments speculated I'd pack my bags and flee, I approached Joel Chow's portrait with teary eyes and complained pitifully, "Honey, middle school is just too expensive. No matter how poor we are, I'll ensure Eliza receives the best education. So, I've decided to return to my old profession to support our daughter." I stroked the portrait, crying so hard that snot ran into my mouth. But in my heart, I kept chanting, "Money, come to me, money, come to me." Minutes later, 1 million yuan was deposited into my account. The sender was unknown, just as the live comments had suggested. My husband wasn't dead after all, and he was quite wealthy. For years after Joel Chow's supposed death, the 200,000 inheritance left to me was nearly gone. His daughter Eliza, just in middle school, had already cost 30 to 40,000 in tutoring fees. The key point is, Eliza didn't even like me. All in all, I hadn't earned a single penny and had worked as a free nanny for 4 years. Thinking this, I decided to run away. But just as I was carrying my suitcase to flee, I saw live comments. My supposedly dead husband wasn't dead at all. He was a wealthy man who had climbed up from the bottom. Even his own daughter, Eliza, didn't know his true identity. The side character is about to abandon Eliza and run away, though Eliza acts like she dislikes her. She's already come to see her as a mother. After the side character flees, Eliza will understand human nature and learn independence. This is Joel Chow's final lesson for his daughter. When Eliza grows up, she becomes as ruthless as her father and seeks revenge on the side character. The side character meets a tragic end. She dies without even a gravestone. The live comments also told me when Joel Chow was 7, his father passed away, and he was kicked out of the house by his stepmother. Lil him, surviving alone cost him half his life. He clawed his way up through hardships to amass the wealth he has today. Therefore, Eliza must walk the same path he did to be worthy of inheriting his fortune. Because Joel Chow firmly believes that children from poor families mature early, Eliza has been raised in austerity since birth. And I am merely the stepmother Joel Chow replicated from his own journey. Even Mr. Liu, the neighbor in our community, is one of his people. To verify the live comments, I let go of my suitcase and performed a loving mother act before the memorial photo. Sure enough, $1 million was transferred the very next second. The live comments revealed that the money was given because Joel Chow had just said, "People don't show their true nature unless the temptation is great enough." Especially women who work in places like that. They're shrewd. Joel Chow was certain that even if I had feelings for his daughter, I'd abscond with the fortune when faced with such a huge sum. So, I wasn't Joel Chow's wife. Just as pawn, I rushed to the memorial photo and stared at that honest-looking face. Honest man, not so honest after all. Before our contractual marriage, I asked Joel Chow, "Aren't you afraid I'll abandon Eliza and run off after you die?" That day, he said, "I trust you." Joel was the first person who ever said he believed in me. Turns out he believed I would definitely abandon his daughter. But I never claimed to be a good person. Good person, bad person, those are just labels others give. I laughed. All that crying that left my eyes swollen for 2 days after he passed away. What a waste. Even though his daughter doesn't like me, I've always cared for Eliza because of him. I curl my lips in a smile. Running off with the money would be so pathetic. You wanted me to raise your daughter to be just like you? Well, I refuse. I'll raise the Chow family's sole heir properly. Isn't that better than going out to find some rich man? Just as I was secretly chuckling to myself, Eliza came home from school. She stared at the suitcase by my feet, her face darkening. I quickly let go, preparing to explain, but she grabbed my suitcase tightly and spoke to me first. "Zoe Sue, if you're leaving, At least leave some money behind. I leaned closer and teased her. Going to miss me? She paused, shaking her head vigorously. I'm not leaving. I just brought the suitcase out to air it. One corner of her mouth twitched. You've already packed everything. No need to like me. I did plan to leave, but then something unexpected happened. I took the suitcase and pulled her back into the house. Right in front of her. I put the clothes back into the wardrobe one by one. She clutched her backpack, standing by the door watching. This is the first time she's been so close to me. I'm really not used to it. After all, our relationship hasn't been great these past 4 years. When I first married into the family, Eliza would rather eat plain steamed buns in front of me than take a bite of the food I cooked. After her father passed away, I became stricter. If you don't eat my food, don't expect any money to buy steamed buns. She held out for 2 days, then obediently picked up her chopsticks to eat and gained 5 pounds under my care. But she still usually avoids talking to me. Even when she goes to school, she locks her bedroom from the outside, guarding against me as if I were a thief. I clear my throat. I did think about leaving, but I can't bear to leave you behind, so I'm staying. She froze for a moment, her voice hoarse as she said, I know the money Dad left is gone. You can leave. She looked up at me slightly. The moment our eyes met, she lowered her head again. Then, as if making a huge decision, she rushed up to me, grabbed me, lifted her head, and pleaded, without money, I'll get beaten. Don't sneak away. You can leave openly, but please leave me some money. Just a few hundred is enough. My smile froze on my face as I pinched her cheeks and examined them from side to side. There were slap marks on both sides. 2 slaps on each side. Who did this? She opened her mouth, whispering, Lindsay Lynn from 8th grade. The teacher doesn't care. Can you leave me some money? Eliza is going to become a formidable female CEO in the future. How could she let someone slap her like this? Wah. I rushed to the living room and slammed the coffee table, shouting at the portrait. How dare you? How dare you hit my daughter? This is outrageous. My sweet girl, tomorrow Mom will take you to school to demand an explanation. But my inner thoughts. I haven't shown my true nature yet. The temptation isn't strong enough. Let's add another 0 to that nice guy's offer. After shouting for a few minutes, the balance didn't increase. Eliza froze, and the live comments exploded. What, my sweet girl? Didn't she call me stinky brat before? And now she's calling herself Mom. Help. What's going on? All right then, come to my school tomorrow. I'm in class C0405. After saying this, Eliza turned and went back to her room, adding as she opened the door, Zoe Sue, don't wear a skirt tomorrow. Can you wear a top and pants instead? I stammered. Oh, okay. When I used to take Eliza to school, she never allowed it, saying I embarrassed her. I thought she would refuse me today too, but instead, I started pacing anxiously again. The 2 things I fear most in life are being broke and meeting teachers. I took a deep breath and glanced at the balance on my phone. I went out and bought several sets of elegant clothes, which made me feel a bit braver. I remembered Eliza's Pikachu pajamas, faded and peeling, yet she couldn't bear to throw them away. I bought her several more outfits and got her cream puffs and strawberry mousse from the bakery. Before, I had to budget carefully, only treating her once a year. Not anymore. She was born to be a young lady, yet she wore dirty clothes every day. Not clean at all. What kind of appearance was that? The future formidable female boss. Your mom is here. At 10 in the morning, I brought Eliza to the office. After explaining the situation to the homeroom teacher, she just adjusted her glasses lazily and said, aside from Eliza, no one else in our grade has this issue. I was stunned. My mind echoed my mother's words from back then. Why does she hit you and not others? MS. Yang in front of me was just phrasing it more politely. Back then, if it weren't for the lead tough girl standing up for me, I don't know how many beatings I'd have taken. In this day and age, everything has improved, but just about anyone can be called a teacher now. I smiled and said, MS. Young, shouldn't you call that girl who hit someone to get the full story? She slammed the notebook in her hand and looked at Eliza. Is she your stepmother? Eliza glanced at me and nodded. MS. Yang looked me up and down, making me feel uneasy all over. Then she said sternly, "I'm your daughter's homeroom teacher, and I'm in charge of several classes. I'm very busy. The others have signed up for every available class, studying in the classroom even after school, so they naturally don't get involved with those troublemakers. If parents don't set a good example, they shouldn't lead their children astray." Just as I was about to speak, Eliza cut in. "Zoe, Sue hasn't led me astray. She cooks for me every day." Although her voice was faint, a warmth spread through my heart. At that moment, live comments appeared again. Sigh. Suddenly, I think Eliza's dad is being too nitpicky. In the 4th year after faking his death, he sent someone to the middle school to spread word about Zoe Sue's job. So the teachers and classmates all knew about Eliza's family background. That's why she keeps getting bullied. Joel Chow did this for his daughter's own good. A child raised amidst humiliation and oppression. Growing up like this will make her stronger. At least she won't be like us ordinary people, tormented by matters of love and affection. If the side character hadn't strayed from the plot, would she be suffering like this? Had the side character followed the script, Joel Chow wouldn't even have stood up for his daughter. Joel Chow is truly ruthless, leaving a will that forces me to place Eliza in this school. I thought it would be great, but it turned out to be a terrible school. MS. Yang stood up to leave. I called out to her, "Wait a minute. Do I have to sign up for all the classes before you'll handle this?" She turned around. "Parent, that's not fair to say. Not a single cent of that money goes into my pocket. Eliza, how about I enroll you in some classes?" She hesitated for a moment, then shook her head. "No need. I've tried before. Spent the money, but didn't improve much." Live comments. Huh? Didn't Eliza really want to take academic tutoring? More than that, she even wants to transfer schools. She's always dreamed of going to Northwood High, visiting its gates every day after school. So it's pretty clear she's feeling sorry for her stepmother. From Eliza's perspective, she's just a girl who lost her father, lives in a rundown building, and only has her stepmother left. Of course, she'd be more sensible. The homeroom teacher suddenly spoke up, interrupting my train of thought. "Your stepmother already spoke up. Are you signing up or not? Don't wait until your grades drag our class down and you get called out. That'll be embarrassing." Facing the homeroom teacher's urging, Eliza clenched the hem of her clothes tightly, finally squeezing out a response after a long pause. "I'm not signing up." I tugged at her sleeve and whispered, "I have some savings. I'll help you sign up. Or maybe transfer schools." She looked up at me, about to say something, but her gaze fell behind me, quickly saying, "Zoe Sue, go back first. I have something urgent." The next second, she ran out. I followed her previous gaze and looked behind me. Outside the glass window, there was nothing. The homeroom teacher shot me a glare, tossed out, "I'll look into the fight incident," and left too. I walked out of the office, thinking about transferring Eliza to another school. Transferring schools now would be such a hassle, and I don't understand the process at all. Just as I was feeling frustrated, the class bell rang. Students swarmed toward the classrooms like a hive of bees. I got swept along by the crowd. Within seconds, the once noisy hallway fell silent, except for some faint sounds coming from the end of the corridor. The closer I got, the clearer they became. "Didn't I write you a note yesterday asking for 50? Are you trying to fool me with these few bucks like I'm some beggar? I'm sorry, Lindsay Lynn. This is all I could find at home. Please don't hit me now. You just saw my mom came by." It was Eliza's voice. She actually called her my mom. Ha ha ha. "Mom? You mean that stepmother your dad married? What kind of decent person would work in a place like that?" So, rushing over to get beaten up was her urgent matter? I rolled up my sleeves and charged forward. A girl smoking by the restroom entrance saw me and screamed, "Someone's coming." The girl with the frizzy hair was using a basketball to slam Eliza's head against the floor. I shoved her away abruptly, pulling Eliza behind me, and pointed angrily at Lindsay Lynn, shouting, "What you're doing is illegal. You know that. Get your parents here right now." She didn't seem the least bit afraid when she saw an adult. There it was again, that condescending once. Over. Does looking at people like that really make you feel superior? And you're not even that good. Looking, are the standards that low over there? I've heard these kinds of remarks so often they don't even sting anymore. I wasn't angry, just stared at her with a scornful smile. Little girl, do you really think you're that cool? Before I started working there, I'd seen it all. Someone like you would chicken out the moment you step off campus and run into the lead tough guy or the lead tough girl waiting at the gate. Hearing this, Lindsay Lynn's eyes widened even more. She pointed at Eliza behind me. You're such a disgrace, crying to your parents over this petty stuff. If you've got guts, let's settle it one on one. Not having your parents stand up for you is what's truly shameful. If you're so capable, let's compete in academics. What's the point in being tough? After speaking, I pointed at the woman guarding the door and added, in other words, if you can make the sisters following you afford whole packs of cigarettes instead of smoking loose ones, that would be your real skill. Ha ha ha. The side character really knows how to hit where it hurts. Oh no, Eliza's nose is bleeding. I turned and pinched her nose, supporting her as we walked out. As we passed the woman, I glared back fiercely and warned, Puffy hair, if you bother Eliza again, next time I'll have the guys and girls at the school gate come talk to you. Eliza tilted her head back in surprise, turning to look at me, her mouth slightly agape. Zoe Sue, do you know troublemakers from outside school? No, I was just scaring her. These brats aren't afraid of parents or teachers, but they fear the troublemakers with dyed hair from outside. A warm drop of blood fell on the back of my hand. I tilted her head up. Keep it raised. Don't move around. Why are you so foolish? Why didn't you tell me or the teacher? Instead, you went to the bathroom to get beaten up? She didn't speak. Her head tilted back as tears welled up in her eyes. Seeing her like this, I couldn't bring myself to scold her. After all this trouble, she had no mind for classes anymore. After requesting leave from school, I took her home. Once home, she immediately retreated into the bathroom to shower. 20 minutes later, the intermittent wails from inside startled me. I pressed close to the bathroom door. Beyond the sound of water, there were sobs. She was hiding in there to cry. I leaned against the wall, listening. Half an hour later, she opened the door, using her thick bangs to hide her tear. Reddened eyes. Zoe Sue, is she afraid of those troublemakers outside the school? Why? Do you want to get to know the lead tough guy and his crew off campus? She insisted firmly. Giving the money to her is worse than giving it to the people outside school. She's so much like me. When school and family can't solve your problems, paying the outsiders will get them to help you. But afterward, you'll become dependent. Just one act of help from them, and you'll start seeing them as family. Those who share your misery might genuinely care for you, but they could lead you down a different path. A path where you can no longer see the sycamore trees outside the classroom window. I ruffled her hair. Don't overthink it. Skip school for a few days. I'll transfer you to Northwood High. Seeing how serious I was, she finally believed me this time. She said slowly, thank you. I'll repay you when I grow up. I crooked my finger at her. Come here. She approached me hesitantly. What is it? Covering my left ear with my hand, I said, slap me. She gave an awkward smile. Sister Zoe Sue, isn't that a bit inappropriate? I rolled my eyes. Just do it when I tell you to. Haven't you always disliked me? She pressed her lips together, not daring to strike. Hit me. Give me a slap. If you can land it, I'll give you $10 tomorrow. Smack. She actually slapped me. Fortunately, I reacted quickly and dodged sideways, her hand landing on my elbow instead. Ouch. She clutched her palm, crying out, it hurts. It hurts so much. Watching her like this, I laughed. Learn this. Next time Lindsay hits you, do just that. But as you turn sideways, remember to kick her knee hard. That way she won't be able to chase you. Eliza impatiently waved her hand. Got it, though her face showed disdain. I caught a faint smile at the corner of her mouth. In the evening, I took her for hot pot and to the arcade to play crane games. She laughed, and laughed heartily. But when we entered the hot pot restaurant, she looked insecure, glancing around before lowering her head. When the server cooked the food for her, she even stood up, bowing and nodding in thanks. Seeing this made my heart ache. I hated seeing her like this. A surge of inexplicable anger rose within me, with nowhere to vent it. Joel Chow. Is the daughter you've raised this way truly happy? We stayed out until past 11 before heading home, with Eliza sleeping soundly. After confirming Eliza was asleep, I sat back in the living room and let out a long sigh. I walked over to the memorial portrait and lit another incense stick for Joel Chow. Staring blankly at his photo, I said calmly, "Asshole, ha 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 ha, I'm dying." Joel Chow just spit out his red wine on the other side. What's going on? The more I watch, the more interesting it gets. Why am I starting to like the side character? Joel Chow's grin was so roguish. I'm starting to ship them. Ship, ship, ship. If you like shipping so much, why don't you act in it yourself? After giving the memorial portrait a dirty look, I started searching online for information on how to transfer schools. One day, 2 days passed. Finally found a fixer for 100,000, but their attitude was terrible. If you want it done, then do it. Don't ask so many questions. If not, plenty of others come to me for this. Contacted 10 in a row, all with the same attitude. The fixers in this business are really something, but their work speed is truly fast. The fixer notified me I could get the admission notice by evening. I rushed to the school to pick up Eliza and told her the news. Eliza froze for a long time, her lips trembling. "Zoe Sue, did you really help me transfer?" I looked up and linked arms with him. "Yes, let's go. We just need to get the notification. Then we can go celebrate with hot pot." She nodded heavily, choking up. Okay. When we reached the meeting point, the other party opened their laptop to show us the final documents that needed to be submitted. After Eliza and I confirmed everything was correct, we paid the remaining 50,000 balance. The transfer could be completed next week. Eliza held my hand, and I could feel her trembling. But after entering the password, my phone popped up a notification that my bank card was frozen. The fixer noticed something was wrong. "What's going on? If you don't pay the balance, the previous 50,000 won't be refunded either." What's going on? Of course I knew. Live comments had just been flooding the screen. Just 1 second before I made the payment, Joel Chow had contacted someone to freeze my card. Watching the light gradually fade from Eliza's eyes, my palms were sweating profusely. There was no other choice but to take Eliza home. Forget about transferring schools. Now, we didn't have a single cent left, and even tomorrow's meal was uncertain. If we didn't settle the balance within 3 days, that 50,000 would be gone too. Eliza, with her head bowed, said softly, "Zoe Sue, it's really okay if I don't transfer schools. I'll just try to walk home with classmates after school." I snapped irritably. "Walk with whom? Do you have any classmates willing to walk with you? Everyone knows what your mother does for a living." I don't know why I was so harsh with her. I just felt somewhat exhausted. I should have realized earlier that with Joel Chow's influence, he would interfere. But honestly, what difference would transferring schools make? Maybe the whole school would know about Eliza's mother's background by the next day. Although not every school might be like that. I don't have the money to keep trying different ones. After my outburst, Eliza fell silent. She just kept walking with her head down. When we reached the garden downstairs in our complex, she took my hand and sat with me on the stone steps. After a long while, she finally spoke. "Zoe Sue, sell the house and leave." I stared at her in stunned silence. She continued, "My life has never been smooth sailing. When you said the transfer was successful, I thought this time would be the same as before. But when I saw the transfer form on the computer, I thought this time might be different." As she finished speaking, her tears fell. She wiped them away forcefully and choked out, "I also wonder why every time something good is about to happen to me, something always goes wrong. People around me end up suffering bad luck too." She grew more agitated as she spoke. "My dad died because of me, and today, you lost your 50,000 deposit because of me. I don't want anything to happen to you too. Please, just leave." She stood up and pushed me, telling me to go home and stop caring about her, telling me to sell the house and get married. I blocked her forcefully. "This house was left to me by your dad. Whether I stay or leave is none of your damn business. Come home with me." Eliza stared blankly, then broke into loud sobs behind me. The live comments grew quiet too. Only a few scattered ones remained. I could tell Eliza's mental state wasn't right. Thank goodness the side character didn't follow the original plot, or Eliza might have come to harm. Joel Chow was indeed going too far. His daughter was being bullied, yet he wanted her to fight back on her own. Is it really that extreme? Joel built his empire from scratch, betrayed by friends and framed by relatives. Eliza is set to inherit everything from him. If she can't handle the setback, she'll be swindled out of it all in the future. He could have guided her properly instead of tormenting his own daughter. While he's enjoying red wine, steak, and cigars, she's here getting beaten, feeling insecure, and going hungry. I'm starting to dislike the male lead. Joel never had proper guidance himself, so he doesn't know how to give it. He clawed his way up through hardship and doesn't want his daughter to repeat his mistakes. What's wrong with that? The live comments continue to argue, but I wasn't in the mood to read them anymore. After comforting Eliza, I walked over to the portrait. Joel, I know you're still alive. Here are 3 choices for you. First, take Eliza home and tell her the truth. Second, transfer Eliza to Northwood High and stay out of everything from now on. Third, I'll help Eliza take a leave from school and teach her to smoke, drink, and stay out all night. Of course, the third one was a threat to him. See, I told you the side character only had a change of heart back then because she found out his identity. So what? I think the side character's demands this time are justified. Joel Chow's challenges for his daughter are indeed a bit excessive. Joel Chow was watching Zoe Sue on the monitor, his slightly furrowed brow looking incredibly handsome. Seeing this live comment, I spoke up again. You're watching, aren't you? If I don't get an answer in 5 minutes, I'll act on the third one. Half an hour passed with no response. Joel Chow left. He's no longer watching the monitor. He actually didn't reply to the side character. Isn't he afraid she'll really corrupt his daughter? We can all see that the side character has developed feelings for Eliza too. Joel Chow must be able to tell. Joel Chow is a self-made entrepreneur, and he's very cunning. Thud, a noise came from Eliza's room. I knocked gently, but there was no response. After forcing the door open, I saw Eliza clutching her wrist tightly, gasping for breath, and looking at me in terror. Zoe Sue, don't bother with me. She clenched her lips tightly, threatening me with a razor blade. I took a deep breath. Your lips have turned pale. What strength do you have left? I rushed over and tried to snatch it from her. She didn't let go until the blade cut a deep gash across the base of my thumb. I carried her on my back and ran towards the hospital. Eliza was so light. Within just a minute, my right shoulder was soaked with blood. She weakly apologized in my ear. Zoe Sue, I'm sorry. I really don't want to go to school anymore. I don't dare to. I shouted angrily. Didn't I teach you how to fight back? She remained silent for a long time. I don't dare to. If I hurt them, my family doesn't have money to pay for it. Actually, I should have died after school today. But when I saw you coming to pick me up, I was so happy. Thank you. This time Lindsay Lynn met some people outside of school. They said they'd take me to earn money just by singing, and I'd get paid. Damn it, I cursed. Eliza reached up to touch my cheek. Zoe Sue, you're quite beautiful. If only you were a bit gentler. Try to swear less in the future. Don't save me. Everyone bullies me. I have no family. Whether I live or die, whether I amount to anything, it doesn't matter anymore. The rain hitting my face grew warm. I choked back a sob and yelled, "Shut up." It was hard to hail a taxi at this hour. Carrying Eliza on my back, I kicked loudly at old Lou's door in the complex. He was placed here by Joel Chow to keep an eye on us. Just then, the live comments chimed in. Going to him is useless. He already knew. When Joel Chow heard Eliza slit her wrist, he just cursed, saying she's hopeless. As soon as the door opened, old Lou asked in surprise, "Miss Sue, what's going on?" I shouted angrily, "Stop pretending. Hurry up and get the car to take Eliza to the hospital." He looked troubled. "Then I'll contact your wife to come see who the woman living in this house is." The next moment, he quickly drove us to the hospital. Huh? How did the side character know old Lou was hiding a woman here? Of course, the live comments told me. Fortunately, Eliza was saved. I sat in the corridor, covered in blood, lost in thought. She had been smiling so much lately. How did it come to this? I stood up and watched through the glass as Eliza lay restrained, my nails digging into my palms. The games of the rich are no fun. If only I had grabbed my suitcase and run when I first saw those live comments. I went downstairs and bought a pack of cigarettes. Eliza hates the smell of smoke, so I always used to sneak away to smoke. Eventually, I found it too troublesome and quit. The medical expenses just now were covered by Mr. Lou. If I really leave, I must send Eliza back. But Joel Chow's identity can't even be found online. I don't know where to look for him. No matter how I threaten Mr. Lou, he'd rather get divorced than reveal anything. Through the haze of smoke, I stared blankly at the silent live comments. After a moment, I murmured, I wonder where Joel Chow is now. His daughter almost died, yet he can still hold back from seeing her. As expected, the live comments exploded. They also provided me with useful information. Joel Chow, on the other end, was confessing to his late wife's portrait. I'm giving up on Eliza Chow. For your sake, I've given her too many chances already. How disgusting. Joel Chow keeps professing how much he misses his late wife. Yet just because Eliza didn't meet his expectations, he wants to create a replacement heir. He wants to marry his former mistress, yet acts as if he's being forced into it. I really want to tell the side character that Joel Chow lives in that estate in the suburbs. Let's take Eliza and storm back there. Same here. I also want to see the side character charge over there. I dragged my exhausted body home to pack the things Eliza would need for her hospital stay. Just as I was about to leave, a text from Mr. Lou informed me that Eliza had been diagnosed with severe depression. A week later, Eliza was discharged from the hospital. After several nights of internal struggle, I decided to tell her the truth. I hailed a cab, with our destination set for the estate. Zoe Sue, where are we going? I replied calmly, home. She looked out the window, puzzled. This isn't the way home. I smiled. This is the way to your home. Then I took her hand. Eliza, you were even brave enough to attempt suicide. There's nothing you can't handle now, right? She nodded gently. Zoe Sue, are you leaving? Is this the way to the airport? I reached up and patted her head. Yes, I'm leaving. She turned her face to look out the window. Sniffling, she said in a hoarse voice. Good, I told you long ago that you should leave. Your father isn't dead. I'm taking you home. Her breath caught. Then she laughed. How could that be? If Dad weren't dead, why wouldn't he have come looking for us? He's a wealthy man, very rich, living in the estate. The reason he didn't tell you is because he wanted you to endure hardships to become exceptional. I only found out about this half a year ago. I told Eliza everything. She was stunned for a long time, then laughed heartily. Haha, that's great then. Let's go home together. We'll have endless money, and no one will bully us anymore. Seeing that she didn't believe me, I didn't say anything more. When the car came to a stop in front of the estate, Zoe Sue was gripping my hand tightly. I helped her out of the car and said softly, Come on, we've arrived at your home. Eliza, though holding my hand, kept hiding behind me. 20 minutes later, the guards summoned Joel Chow. There was no trace left of the laborer he once appeared to be. A man like him, dressed in custom, tailored suits, with slicked back hair and gold-rimmed glasses, would never be found in those vulgar, decadent environments. Eliza's voice trembled. Dad, her entire body was shaking. Joel Chow walked toward us step by step, looking down at Eliza from his height. Zoe Sue, has she told you everything? Eliza nodded blankly, but her gaze remained fixed on Joel Chow's face. Joel Chow frowned. Let's go. Our family can afford to support idlers. Since you've returned, it means you've failed. From now on, I'll provide for your food, drink, and entertainment. I've done right by your mother. As for our family inheritance, most of it has little to do with you. After speaking, Joel Chow turned and walked away without another word. Eliza cried out hoarsely, Dad, when I cried as a child, you would comfort me. Joel Chow wanted to maintain a kind father image in Eliza's heart. He left all the bad deeds for others to handle. After being discovered, he stopped pretending. I patted Eliza's hand. You need to take care of yourself. And from now on, you won't have to worry about being looked down upon. Do Do what you want to do, and remember to see a psychologist. Eliza asked me with reddened eyes. Zoe, will you stay with me? Dad feels so unfamiliar. A woman like her isn't worthy of entering our family. Joel Chow's voice rang out, his gaze fixed on me. Don't think about getting any benefits from me. Don't bother clinging on. Our marriage certificate is fake. And that shabby house, I'm giving it to you. I paid no attention to him. Instead, I reminded Eliza to focus on getting treatment and eating well. Joel Chow snorted coldly again. Eliza Chow, depression is the most useless illness. Don't expect to use the Chow family's money for treatment. I only spend money on people who are worthwhile. Eliza took a few steps back. I knew it wasn't because the Chow family refused to pay for her treatment. Rather, she never expected her father to have become a completely different person. I stepped forward and grabbed Eliza's hand. Let's go home. I'll sell the house to pay for your treatment. If you stay in this kind of family, you'll go mad sooner or later. Eliza Chow, you're the one choosing not to enter the Chow family. Don't say I don't acknowledge you. Joel Chow sneered. After taking just a few steps, Eliza pried my hand away. Zoe, let go. I'm going back to the Chow family. I didn't turn around, just stood there frozen. She continued, you should go back quickly and sell that old building to recoup some losses. Worried that returning home might worsen her condition, I tightened my grip on her hand, refusing to let go. She tugged at the corner of my clothes from behind. I know you're worried. Don't cry. Don't worry. I'm his daughter. I'm like him. I will kill him. Not with a blade, but with time. I nodded slowly, my voice hoarse. Okay, remember to be sweet, tongued and clever. Get your illness treated first. Joel Chow stood in the distance and said coldly, Eliza Chow, come here. Those who achieve great things should cut ties with family. Don't embarrass yourself here. Eliza let go of my hand, lowering her head and pretending to be strong as she said, Zoe Sue, goodbye. I nodded gently. From now on, keep your head up, show your forehead, laugh boldly and freely, wishing you health and safety in the future. Goodbye. The old apartment sold for $300,000, and with the money, I took over the small shop at the entrance of Eliza's rundown school. On the day I was packing my things, the long, absent live comments appeared again. Is this the grand finale? It should be. It already says the end. Hey, why are Joel Chow's eyes red as he looks at Zoe Sue's photo? Fake sentimentality, saying he would have let her into the family if Zoe Sue's birth wasn't tainted. In the live comments, they all left the current date after the end. Even at the very end, they have to disgust me one more time. I released the suitcase in my hand, grabbed a chair, and smashed it fiercely toward the memorial photo. Glass shattered all over the floor. I tore Joel Chow's photo into shreds. There have been plenty who've deceived me. One more doesn't make a difference. On the day I decided to wash my hands of it all, troubles came crashing down together. Calling it washing my hands was just a polite way of saying I was too old to keep up and got pushed out. After all, places like that never run short of young, alluring girls. I tried a few venues, but they all turned me away for being too old. Back then, I was only 27. At that time, I wanted to cut all ties with my family for good. So I gave my last savings to my younger brother. Joel Chow was a client of mine. Even though he often showed up at the scene, he never had a woman by his side. He told me he was there with his boss and couldn't afford to pay for company. The year I agreed to the contract marriage, a former colleague said to me, see, when he said he couldn't afford it, he just meant he wanted to take advantage of you for free. After we married, he never laid a hand on me. He spent his days lying in bed in the next room, surviving on the plain rice porridge and vegetables I cooked. I even secretly felt a glimmer of hope that if he could get better, we might find happiness. It turned out that the man I had taken care of for a year was faking it. Days at the convenience store passed slowly. Each day was a repetition. Parents stood at the school gate, waiting to pick up their children. Those who walked with their heads down, with no one to pick them up, looked like easy targets. They would be called into the alley by the yellow-haired kids at the school gate, who would take $2 from their pockets. Then the yellow-haired kids would bring the money to me. Boss, give me a loose cigarette. When they went too far, I would stand at the alley entrance to stop them. The yellow-haired kids gave me some face and wouldn't push those students too hard. But I never sold loose cigarettes to students inside the school. Of course, Lindsay Lynn and the female guard who had bullied Eliza were exceptions. They often hid in my convenience store to smoke. I just spread a few rumors about how MS Young looked down on them. People like them may not care about studying, but their pride is stronger than anyone's. I only remember that day when they dragged MS Young into the alley. I closed up early that day. One ended up in the hospital with serious injuries. 2 were expelled, and another went to juvenile detention. I watched as they, in the years that followed, spiraled into the abyss, riding on the back of some gang leader's motorcycle, swaggering through the alleyways. Their bellies swelled and shrank, over and over. In the blink of an eye, 15 years had passed. I'd seen off batch after batch of students. The school was relocating, and even my little shop was set to be demolished. I really felt a bit reluctant to let it go. While giving the shop its final cleaning, I encountered a rude person who slapped 5 cents onto the glass counter. "Boss, give me a loose cigarette." Without looking up, I wiped the counter and snapped, "Who's the blind one? Can't you see it's about to be torn down?" Not selling. Zoe Sue, you still haven't kicked the habit of cursing, have you?" My hand paused mid-wipe, and a lump formed in my throat. Everyone around here calls me Annie Sue. No one knows my actual name. I slowly looked up, and in that moment our eyes met. She took off her sunglasses, grinning boldly, disdainfully, taking the rag from my hand. She reached out. "Zoe Sue, I'm here to take you home." A wave of emotion surged up my nose. I instinctively wiped my hands on my clothes. Impatient with my slowness, she grabbed my arm. "Stop wiping. Let's go back for a bath. Then I'll take you shopping for clothes." Luxury cars really are different. The interior was filled with a pleasant fragrance. My face remained flushed red the entire way. I had imagined meeting Eliza Chow again, preparing many things to say. I wanted to share with her the embarrassing situations of MS Young and Lindsay Lynn, but then 5-10 years passed without any news from her. I was starting to forget what I wanted to tell her. At this moment, I couldn't utter a single word. She leaned closer to me. "Your face is so red. Are you shy? I heard you're quite fierce on this street." I stammered. "And no, not shy. I just didn't expect to see you again." She lifted my chin. "Hold your head up. Don't keep it down. Have you caught my habit?" She placed her hand on my shoulder, staring intently at my face, examining it from every angle. "Why don't you take better care of yourself? I'll take you to get a membership card tomorrow. And your clothes are all faded. You don't have kids to raise, so why not buy better ones? I'll take you shopping tomorrow." The her before me had blossomed into a striking figure, with neat, short hair that radiated confidence and vitality. She talked and talked, saying so many things, but I couldn't hold back my tears. Hugging her as I choked out, "I thought you had forgotten me." Eliza swallowed hard, patting my back. "My youth began with you. How could I ever leave you behind?" "Zoe Sue, your good days are here." After Eliza moved into the Chow family, hatred drove her to heal from her own illness. She kept learning, pretending to comply with every arrangement. Slowly, a glimmer of approval appeared in Joel Chow's eyes. He also gave up the idea of having a replacement heir. As she grew up, she gradually got involved in the family business, building a wide network and gaining a voice in the company. In the end, the company was handed over to her. Last month, Joel Chow developed Alzheimer's, sometimes lucid, sometimes confused, with no real power left. He was sent to a nursing home by Eliza. When Joel learned I had moved into the Chow residence, he had someone invite me to the nursing home, sitting in his wheelchair. The shrewdness he once had was long gone from his face. When he saw me, he just grinned widely. "Zoe Sue, you still moved into our house after all. Women like you really can endure anything for money." I crouched down and straightened the blanket that was about to slip off him. "Agreeing to a contractual marriage with you for your fake inheritance. That was quite the endurance test indeed." He snorted coldly. "I'll allow you to stay in the Chow residence, but you must convince Eliza to bring me back home. And from now on, you'll take care of me." I laughed scornfully. Mr. Chow, you're the one who taught Eliza to cut ties with everyone. As an outsider, how could I possibly persuade her? By the way, Eliza asked me to tell you that the family doesn't support idle people. Alzheimer's comes from overthinking. You brought it on yourself. She'll pay for your nursing home expenses, so you should be content with that. He gripped the wheelchair tightly, his face turning red with strain, raising his hand as if to strike me. But the next moment, his mouth twisted into a smirk, his neck twitching as he sneered at me. Gee, you're so good to me. When I recover, I'll work hard to earn money and buy you a big mansion. If I don't get better, I'll leave all my assets to you. Just raise my daughter until she turns 18. Smack. I slapped him hard across the face. You old fool. Even with dementia, you're still trying to deceive me again. After returning to the villa, Eliza would take me out to broaden my horizons whenever she wasn't working. Mom, this looks nice. I'll buy it for you. Mom, I want to buy this for you too. Mom, I'm free next week. Come travel with me. I waved my hand. Eliza, can't you let me rest at home for a while? She pouted. Fine. I poked her shoulder. Hey, you used to dislike me a lot. When exactly did you start liking me? She shrugged. I wanted you to be my mom even before you entered our family. I asked in confusion. Before entering the family? Eliza said mysteriously. Dad told me the other day that he found me a stepmother who works in the entertainment industry. I went to secretly check you out. That day you were tipsy, buying water by the roadside when an aunt holding a child begged you to buy them some food. Without hesitation, you bought them milk and bread, and even slipped them 100 yuan. I thought to myself, someone this kind-hearted would surely treat me well as my mom. I raised an eyebrow. Then, why did you always seem to dislike me after I moved in? Eliza scratched her head. Locking the door and keeping my distance was just because I was afraid my bad luck might affect you. After resolving the final emotional barrier, Eliza lay on my lap, calling me mom over and over. How could this Eliza Chow be the same as the ice queen everyone at the company talks about? This is clearly my little girl.